So, Honkai Star Rail came out with a developer radio on the 4th of February. I was on vacation when this came out, so I couldn't really cover it. But a bunch of content creators already did, so I didn't think I needed to. But I wanted to focus on this portion here, adding richer combat gameplay and challenge goals to the game. In addition, deploying older characters on the battlefield and strengthening of these older characters are already on schedule. So they've been thinking about this for a while, and I was wondering what would be the best way for them to bring back older characters. Now, my opinion on this particular change is very good. I am always a fan when you can use all characters in any viable situation. Of course, they don't need to be usable or viable for everything. At least some game modes, right? People have already been talking about power creep. It's an insane issue. I'm not going to dive too much into that. I want to bring in an example of some good character tuning and updates and buffing that I do like. One example is from Brown Dust 2. It has the usual duplicate system where you pull for multiple copies of a character to buff that skill, and then you have a gearing system to buff up stats. And then what they added was an upgrade system for that costume. Now you can think of it like a skill tree with Honkai Star Rail skill tree that they have in there, right? This pretty much improves the character with various different buffs, either increasing the range of their attacks, reducing the amount of energy that they consume, and they also have another upgrading system, the Awakening, where you get to buff up their stats. So that's one thing I do like. This makes it so you don't necessarily need to get duplicates for the costumes. It makes them still viable. And another game I do want to talk about is Epic 7. Like all gacha games, we have the dumb gearing system, randomized gear, blah blah blah. It eventually came to the point where a lot of old characters were being power crept, of course. So they implemented this exclusive equipment system that pretty much changes the skills that they have depending on what equipment you equip. Either buffs it, changes the amount of turns, blah blah blah. Not all of them are good and not all characters have them, but it can only help. So I think Honkai Star Rail buffing old characters, they have a lot of ways to do it. Now, what way do I think they're going to do? I think they're just going to straight up go into their kit and just change their skills. And either make single targets more AoE or lower the threshold for certain characters to do what they do, right? A lot of people on Reddit have posted their thoughts on what they would want change, and a lot of them are good ideas. Like, there's a lot you could do to buff all these units. Now, one character I want buffed is Kafka, because she is my most favorite character, but unfortunately I can't use her because everyone else is so much better and she cannot keep up. Now, one thing Honkai Star Rail really does need to make sure of and change is to make every combat system viable. Combat system being follow-up dot, you got your hyper carries, right? You got your summons now with remembrance. You need to make sure all these different combat styles have a place in the game, because right now dot kind of fell off, and I think that's just unfortunate. But I think this is a great change. Also, another change I'm really looking forward to, the main story issue. God bless. I don't know if you guys watched that last video I made reviewing Honkai Star Rail, but this was my biggest gripe. Good lord. Hopefully they're just not saying this tweak a tiny little thing and think that they have accomplished it, I will make sure to not hold back on my reviews of their future stories. I will be keeping this in mind, and we will see if they lie or not. But otherwise, those are my thoughts. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with the changes. I'm looking forward to who they're going to change. I wonder when they're going to start telling us. Well, let me know. Who do you want changed? How do you want them changed? What do you think? Do you think it's even necessary to change all this? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.